he's now picking it up over the last 4 weeks. Not only that, he finally got a reception for a touchdown this year.
Finally, man.
So the fact that he definitely got it on the board against Seattle, I definitely should see a lot more consistency moving down the line. So definitely one player you definitely want to look at.
Thanks, I agree with that. Okay. All right, cool, man. So overall, in the matchup versus me versus Tini, who do you pick to win?
My opinion, as far as the quarterback is concerned, regardless of who he starts, I'm going to like Jimmy Garoppolo better.
Uh-huh.
As far as running backs, I'm definitely going to go with Dub's running back core. It's just a lot more solid. Receivers, I'm going to pick your team due to you have a much bigger ceiling, but the only difference is you also have probably the lowest floor as well.
Okay.
If I was going for consistency, I'm definitely picking Dub's team for receivers, but when it comes to playoff time, I'm going to go for the whole thing. So I'll pick your receiving core. Tight ends, I would basically call it even, but I'm going to pick Jared Cook due to the more consistency. But overall, if I had to pick a winner, it would probably be Dub, but this one is probably going to be a close game. Do not expect a blowout. I expect it might be less than 3 points. You never know. It might be less than 3 points.
Okay, less than 3 points. Okay, that's very close.
No, this one's going to be a close game. I feel it because looking at both of these teams, it's like no matter who you pick, you definitely expect something that's going to happen that's going to be pretty big. I do expect both teams to probably score more than 100 points just by looking at the roster. So this one will definitely be a high-scoring game. But I'm only picking Dub because I had to pick a team.
Gotcha. Well, my pick is obvious. I'm obviously going to go with Dub to win the. I'm just kidding. Dub got a pretty solid team, but I like my stars to come out with the dub, man. I really like my stars to come out with the dub because even my bench, I'm like questioning whether I should start them over this player, but I'm gonna go with the players that got me here and go with my gut feelings. But
you shouldn't be. Well, if I was the owner of your team, I will definitely be confident going into Sunday, no matter what.
Yeah.
Because obviously, even though it could go either way, I would definitely be one of those owners. Like, you know what? I can go to sleep knowing that my lineup has been set since like Friday, and there's really nothing that I really need to change. So this is definitely going to be a good week, no matter what. So I'll definitely ready to see what's going to happen.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Cool. Let's move on to the next matchup. We got Victory Lap TMC. Ranked number 5 facing up against number 1 ranked Legion.
Yes, this is definitely game of the week.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much so, man. This game of the week it is going to be an exciting game to watch. It already starting point-wise as a very exciting game. So watching the how it folds out is going to be interesting. Let's start with Victory Lap TNC squad. Like I said earlier, he has Lamar Jackson, who already got him almost 40 points. He got him 37.08 points. That is a very comfortable way to start the week so far.
Yeah, that's definitely starting the week off with fireworks, my opinion. But at the same time, anytime your running back can get you more than 20 points on a Thursday night game, that's definitely one way to start the week. So even though Lamar Jackson got 37, and as of right now, it's looking pretty good. I'm not going to sleep on Deshaun Watson. Definitely not. Because he can get you 30 one week. He may end up giving you 25 another week, maybe 20 another week. I think as long as Deshaun Watson gets at least around 25, he should be fine.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, let's move on to Victory Lap running back. He got Joe Mixon, and this week he's starting Adrian Peterson. So, how do you feel about those two?
Joe Mixon is going to have a pretty busy week. Not as far as like production, but you're going up against New England's defense. So
I know.
This is definitely, I ain't gonna lie, this is going to be very tough. But what I say about Joe Mixon is that, especially from last week, what I stated is that he has been picking it up over the last half of the season, especially come playoff time. So looking at the stats, the teams that he's played against as far as tough defenses, like the Rams, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, the Jets, and Cleveland, he has been producing. So if he can put up 15 points against Baltimore, and he can basically put up 13 against the Jets and 24 against Cleveland, I don't see a reason why he can't put up at least 10. I don't see a reason why not. But I'm not going to go out and say that my expectation is going to be that he's going to end up putting up what he did last week, because I got to be a little bit realistic when it comes to New England's defense. But I think that he should get some touches, not only from the backfield, but as far as rushing. Adrian Peterson going up against Philly, never know. Adrian Peterson might end up pulling something out his bag like he did last week. But the fact that he doesn't have to compete with Darius Geis since he's went on IR, he basically has the backfield to himself now. So I would definitely be confident starting Adrian Peterson this week.
Okay. I agree with that. So let's move on to Victory Lap receivers. Yeah, Beasley and Brown. I think these two players really helped them make it to round two based on last week's performance. So let's see if they can do a repeat.
Cole Beasley, which was my X factor for last week, he did produce once again. So it's definitely one player that I will have no problem starting this week, especially it's a Sunday night game. So I expect Cole Beasley to put up the same production as he did last week. Either he's going to get like 60 yards and a touchdown, or it might be the same thing as last week, where he might end up scoring like 10 points, but he just gets that one red zone touchdown. But he's definitely getting a lot of targets. So it's one person that I'm not going to be too worried about, but I'm also going to say that don't expect him to get like 20 points.
Yeah.
AJ Brown, I'll tell you this. He basically has it as a receiver. He can run every route in the tree. He's physical. He attacks the ball. He can go deep. Not only that, like we said, he's just only a rookie. And one thing with rookies is that they have a big boom or they have a big bust factor that's going into it. But A.J. Brown, he's definitely been producing. So going up against Houston, I definitely expect him to put up some numbers. Definitely not what he did against Oakland, but it's probably going to be on the lines of probably 90 yards and a touchdown, or it just might be 50 yards, or he might get 2 touchdowns. But either way, I don't expect him to get close to like 30 points. I expect him to probably get half of that at best. So either way, I wouldn't be worried about A.J. Brown going into the week. I do like him as a player, but fantasy-wise, I think he'll be all right. He'll get you enough points to the point that you're not going to worry about whether she's going to start catching the ball in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's move on to Victory Lap tight end. You got Kyle Rudolph there.
This one is going to be pretty interesting, considering Adam Thielen is coming back this week from his hamstring injury that he's been going through for the majority of the season. So I definitely have to temper expectations when it comes to Kyle Rudolph. But at the same time, you're going to have to start him because there's no other really good tight ends out in free agency that you're going to put your trust in.
True.
So
there were a couple, but I think I picked them up. Let me tell you which two. Higbee and O.J. Howard. Higbee, if you look at his the tight end for the Rams, if you look at his production, he's been pretty consistent in the past couple of weeks. Yeah, the past couple of weeks, he's been pretty consistent. I think that would have been a good tight end to pick up. Knowing your tight end might lose some touches. I don't know if you looked at Higbee.
Well, still got at least one or two tight ends that you could give them a look. But overall, wouldn't be bad if he just sticks with Kyle Rudolph and basically see what happens. At the end of the day, it's kind of like we do not know, especially considering Adam Thielen is coming back. But I still think that Kyle Rudolph will get involved in offense, but just not as much as we all would hope. But
true.
For the most part, he'll be okay.
True. Okay. All right. Let's move on to Victory Lap Flex. He has the running back for the Titans, Bo Scarborough. Okay.
Bo Scarborough's not a bad choice as far as Flex is concerned. Only question is he actually going to be playing this week?
Yeah. I hope Victory Lap is looking at that and making an adjustment. I hope he is. It will look bad for him to be in the playoff and starting somebody that's not playing. But we'll see. Hopefully he make that adjustment. Okay.
Yeah, because as of right now, his flex position is definitely looking shaky as of right now. But as far as any players that's available in free agency for a running back, I see possibly one or two players.
Okay.
Either that or he'll go with Boston Scott. But other than that, he's definitely going to have to make a decision as far as flex position is concerned. I wouldn't start Tyrell Williams because he hasn't been consistent. So based off of that, I would just definitely leave him alone. But Boston Scott, depending on Jordan Howard's availability, whether he's going to be active or not, he's going to have to go with the next man up.
Facts. Okay. Let's move on to Avery. Victory Lap TMC. Where we at? Has his defense. He got the Seahawks defense going up against Carolina. I mean, that's his only option. So, but Carolina offense hasn't been, cranking out all cylinders, especially the fact that they got rid of their coach. So let's see what they can do against Seahawks. What do you expect?
It's definitely going to be interesting to see as far as how Carolina's offense is definitely going to play out. At this point, it's kind of like we really do not know what we're going to get from them, but some reason Carolina just happens to always end up scoring touchdowns. and the fact that I don't think that